Could you give your name, please? Your name.
Deklan, Rook, Lancaster City.
Thank you.
I stood in this spot a week ago and shared my concerns about the implications of your social media posts. I shared concern that those posts would welcome hateful speech and could create an even more unsafe environment in Lancaster for people who are part of the LGBTQIA+ community. I stand here 1 week later in reality of those statements. In this very room, there are people who wish myself, my family, my friends, my church members harm. They wish for us to be arrested, imprisoned, and even dead. This week, I have watched as good people have received hateful messages on social media, have been threatened with personal violence, and I have watched as their aggressors have gloated in their detestable actions, claiming God as the one who justifies their actions and words. I find it interesting that you and those who you have emboldened keep saying your concern is for the children, using the idea that Drag Story Hour is indoctrinating while teaching hatred and violence to your own children is what any rational person would call hypocritical. I am here because this matters to me. This affects me. I am a transgender person, and I'm not afraid to say it. I am a parent, a proud parent, of a gender nonconforming kid.
Yeah.
I am a Christian.
Yeah.
I attend seminary.
Yeah.
I am a community leader, a minister, a friend, a sibling, an artist, performer, nature lover, cat dad, and the list goes on. I am also the descendant of both indigenous peoples as well as immigrants, most of whom were undocumented. I am the proud child of a World War II veteran, and my great-great-great-uncle fought in the Union with the Union in the Civil War. I have been homeless. I have been addicted. I am a single parent working on my second degree with no support from family while working full-time. Life is difficult for me, as it is for many Americans, but it is good. Since embracing my true self, I have become much happier and healthier than I have ever been in my life. Even though things are tough emotionally and spiritually, I feel that for the first time I am thriving rather than surviving. But this place where we find ourselves today, where elected commissioners have put their noses into things they have no real control over, simply to benefit their own careers, has hung a gray cloud over many in our community. Not only LGBTQIA+ folks, but our immigrant siblings, our unhoused siblings, those who look and think and act differently from the two of you, have become the props for your political drama. And it's not even a good drama. It's playing out more like a day at the Colosseum, where the emperor has thrown a bunch of criminals into the ring with lions and bears purely for their entertainment and to strike fear into the common people. During this past week, I have spent the majority of my time worrying for my friends and for myself. I have been more anxious this past week than I have been since I stopped living a lie over a year ago. In the midst of all the anxiety, I've looked for ways to practice self-care and attend to my own mental health, as was mentioned here last week by our commissioners. One of those things was to watch some things that bring me comfort and joy, like reading Rainbow and Mr. Rogers. I was reminded that these were people who shaped my mind as a child, in your own words, indoctrinated me in the ways of kindness, empathy, respect, inclusion, love, and humility. These are the values that I hold and I strive to express in my interactions with all people. Yesterday was Won't You Be My Neighbor Day, so I thought it only fitting to share with you some of the words from a very wise, very devoted Christian who also happens to be a white man. So maybe if you haven't heard my words, you can hear his. The first I will share with you is for everyone in the room, everyone in this city, everyone in the county, state, country, and the world. Deep within us, no matter who we are, there lives a feeling of wanting to be lovable, of wanting to be the kind of person that others like to be with. And the greatest thing we can do is let people know that they are loved and capable of loving. The second is to all the parents here and those who say that we are here because we are concerned about the children. If the day ever came when we were able to accept ourselves and our children exactly as they are, then I believe we would have come close to an ultimate understanding of what good parenting means. It's part of being human to fall short of that total acceptance, and often far too short. But one of the most important gifts a parent can give a child is the gift of accepting that child's uniqueness. Mr. Rogers also said, as different as we are from one another, as unique as each one of us are, we are much more the same than we are different. That may be the most essential message of all as we help our children grow toward being caring, compassionate, and charitable adults. This is what has weighed on my mind and made me sad, and for many in this room, and all of your talk of morals and values, I see very little fruit that any rational person, any follower of Jesus, would actually find acceptable. Those of you who are here out of your so-called concern about dress-up story time and undocumented humans, please stop perpetuating the hate. Stop demonizing people. Stop the anger and threats of violence. Is that really the example you want to set for your children? That is not loving your neighbor. Please, instead, love your families and spend quality time with them doing whatever it is that you love to do. Please volunteer and do some good work in your community. Be as Jesus commanded us to be, the hands and feet of Jesus. Jesus loved and healed and reached out in compassion to the hurt, the lost, and the marginalized. It's almost Easter. Will you stand with a man who was crucified for going against the grain, or with those who stood and shouted, "Crucify him"? Commissioners, please stop these political theatrics. Please stop knowingly creating these divisions and issues. There is real important work that needs to be done in our county that really needs your attention. Please do the work that you were actually elected to do.
Thank you.